Good day. This is Dimitri Lascaris coming to you from Montreal, Canada on January 2025 for Reason to Resist. I'm currently joined by Coromoto Jaraba, who is a Venezuelan journalist. She is currently, as you can see, in the streets of Caracas. Thank you very much for joining me today, Coro.
Hi, thank you for this connection. Very important to have support from international friends and comrades.
Indeed it is. So, Coro, just for people's own understanding, I first met Coro in 2018 when I went to Venezuela in the aftermath of a presidential election. This was the election where Western governments were claiming that the true president of Venezuela was Juan Guaido. So I went there to see with my own eyes what was happening in the country. And Coro acted as my guide and my translator. So I've known her for now 8 years, and I wish we could be speaking in better circumstances, Coro. Could you please just tell us briefly where you are and what's going on behind you?
Well, this is Caracas downtown. I'm next to Universidad de las Artes, de Artes, which is Metro Station Buenos Artes, Bellas Artes, sorry. Uh, right in the heart of the city. To the west from here, there's the Palace of Government and all the all the buildings of the central government state offices of this relation. And behind me, you can see some. Well, now let's go there. There's a
Yes.
large gathering of people who are gonna start marching to the National Assembly, the National Assembly of Venezuela, the Republic, Bolivarian Republic is being sworn for this coming year. And also in the afternoon, there will be Delcy Rodriguez will be sworn as president in charge of the nation in the absence of President Nicolas Maduro, uh, with the circumstances that he's been kidnapped and taken to the United States of America.
And the people behind you who have gathered there and who are going to be marching to the National Assembly, are they? Unfortunately, the bus won't move.
Mhm.
Can you tell, are these people supportive of the government? Are they supportive of the United
Yes,
States?
yes. No, this is all supporters of the government and of our nation. I mean, like, it's it's idiotic to, as a Venezuelan or member of any nation, to support an international aggression in your land. You know. So
Mhm.
all these people, I don't know how far you can see behind me, but they all gather here in support of Nicolas Maduro, of course, in support of the established and elected government in Venezuela, in our lovely country. And yeah, we reject any international any imperial intervention, aggression. This is an aggression. We're a peaceful nation, you know. We're
Mhm.
a peaceful land, and I just heard a few minutes ago that the United States government is accusing Nicolas Maduro of having weapons of mass destruction. What the hell? We don't have weapons of mass destruction. They want to turn us into Iraq, into Syria. This is Venezuela. We're a free land and we're a peaceful nation.
Now you've been in Caracas continuously since the attack happened. Is that right?
Yes,
And you,
yes, yes. I
you
saw it. I saw it firsthand.
I want to come
It
back to
was
that in a minute.
atrocious. Yeah.
I want to ask you about that in a minute. First of all, we've been seeing these videos. People have been circulating some videos online of what appear to be pro-U.S. protests in the streets of Caracas. Have you seen
There's
any?
no U.S. support. No, no. I asked people who live, like in the rich neighborhoods in the east of the city. No one went out to celebrate. Nothing. There's nothing to celebrate.
Right.
No one here is celebrating. Some people in Argentina, some people in El Obelisco went out. Some Venezuelans who should burn their passports. They should be ashamed of calling themselves Venezuelans. Don't come
Right.
back here. You don't want us. All right. Leave us, leave us, leave. Let us leave. We just want to live peacefully, to work. People are working. Even the next day, people were working, you know?
Yeah.
On Sunday, it was Sunday morning, and I saw, oops, are normally closed, and they opened because people were buying food, like scared, like we don't know what's going to happen, and we were 48 hours, a bit more, without electrical service because
Right.
they bombed one of the plants that feeds the southeast of the southwest of the city. It was all in darkness, and there was 45-minute bombing. It was crazy.
So this plant that they bombed, this was an electricity generating facility. Is that what it was? It generated electricity.
Yeah, something's going on. Vamos, ven otra vez acá.
So
Let me
so
see if I get it better here.
okay.
Any better.
So has electricity been restored since this attack?
Last night. Actually, this is Corpoelec. This is the institution that that handles the.
Right. So can you still? Sorry, I can't hear you, Coro. I can't hear you. Okay, so I was asking you, has power been restored after the attack on the power plant?
The service was restored last night. Actually, it was restored from Sunday, but for sectors. But there are areas in Caracas that I'm not entirely sure if they have this service reestablished. But where I live, it's back now. And because on Sunday, there were some areas that had electricity, but the power was cut, a few hours, and then there was a power cut. But since last night, we have electricity non-stop.
Now, can you tell us, just describe to us what happened on Sunday night? Uh, what did you see? What did you experience during the attack? Where were you? And were you able to? Did you stay in your house? Did you go into the streets to see what was happening? What happened that night?
Okay. It was 1:59 a.m. So we were fast asleep. We had been to the coast to enjoy, the last weekend of the new year. There was thousands of people there, and there was like a boom noise, and then suddenly, boom, massive explosion. So I jumped out of the bed because the noise woke me up, and I saw my partner like, what's what's going on? What's that noise? And then the explosion, and I said, we invaded. We invaded, so I run at the door, the room, and I went to check on my mom. My mom is hard of hearing, so she was fast asleep. My daughter senior, they were asleep both, so I let them sleep. Because, like where I live, there's this neighborhood, right? There's the highway, and then next is Puerto Tuna, right? And there's also the residence there. And we saw the fire between the residents, falling, falling explosions, that horrible, horrible noise. And we heard helicopters, like from an American movie. I only seen in movies, it was, I think about it like scenes of videos. It makes me really, shake. I'm still shaking. Really. So we didn't go out. I went out after the 45 minutes of the bombings. I went out because there are some stray dogs that are nearby, and I wanted to check on them, but they were not in my street. So I only went out the street and I went back in. There was a couple of people out. People were looking out the windows. I mean, we could see some neighbors called out like, "Are you alright? What's going on? What do you know?" But we have no electricity, so I managed to send you a message, mention going on, and all the time, like I sent that message, and it was only badly written because I didn't have my glasses on. And what a night, horrible night.
Mhm, mhm. And you sent us a video. You sent us some videos. I'd like to show one, and maybe you can explain to us what this is.
Yes.
You want to show it again? Do you know what that is? Do you recognize that, Coro? It
that noise.
looks
I
like
mean, I only see like, oh, okay, now I see. The thing is that with the,
yeah. What is that, Coro?
no, I see like there's a fire at the bottom, at the bottom of the picture, but like I have too much sunshine on me here. I can barely
Right.
see the screen.
Okay. So
That looks like Fuerte Tuna, but I have no idea.
now, have you gone to some of the places that have been attacked and seen for yourself? Uh,
No,
you haven't
no,
seen any of the damage. And
no.
now I wanted to ask you about uh, this whole question of whether Nicolas Maduro was betrayed. You know, what is your feeling about this, Coro?
I don't. It's all speculation. It's all speculation. Like in this case, I'm not entitled to like. I do want to spread more rumors that are already going on. All right. I think Delcy Rodriguez, she's the vice president, so according to the constitution, she has to take presidency in the absence. I mean, like people were saying, like, but Nicolas Maduro was taken out of the country to be brought back. Like, yes, the Americans are going to say, yeah, he's your president. No, he was taken. There's nothing much that could be done there,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know? So talk
Yeah.
about betrayal, it's difficult how right now. I mean, like, I would like to say to you, I cannot say this right, because there's so many things that can be thought. Because someone from Argentina asked me an hour ago or so, for media as well, like, were people expecting this? Was the government expecting this? And I said, like, in 2018, they moved the Commando Sur troops, so I thought we were going to be invaded there. And after, Trump moved, mobilized, and all the attacks in the Caribbean, every night at home, every time I had like an explosion or gunfire, because it's gunfire sometimes because there's criminals nearby, right? And it's another thing, you know, neighborhoods, whatever. The thing is, like, every time I had something like that, it made me jump.
Hmm.
Uh, and during Christmas, well, it's normal. Actually, some kids were playing, with the firecrackers and stuff. I said, like, who wants to burn the firecracker after we heard that fucking bomb there? We don't jump it. Or,
Right.
like animals from homes, like they ran away. I heard from neighbors there are people looking for their dogs because their dogs ran away to other areas. I saw two dogs that was, like looking, running, like scared, like 2 days later because they probably were in their homes and they heard that thing and ran like crazy.
Right. I've seen reports that 32 Cubans were killed in these attacks. Is that accurate in your opinion? And if so, how were these Cubans killed in Caracas or in Venezuela?
Like, the thing is that, like there's the friendship with the Cuban nation, and also an important intertwined, like there are many personnel of the Cuban government who work in Venezuela, medical personnel, also military personnel, and they live in Puerto Cuba, they work there,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
I haven't been able to see the news because I'm only updating. I didn't know this information.
Hmm. And what is the government saying about the total number of people who were killed and wounded? You know what the government is saying currently about the total number of people who were killed and wounded by these attacks?
There's no official report so far. Okay.
So
Well,
yes.
Delcy Rodriguez, she's been senior member of government for many years. She worked directly with Nicolas Maduro, with Hugo Chavez. You know. I know that. She's been in charge of negotiations with international governments for oil and mineral. Uh, well, that's all. That's what I know. I mean, I think she's very capable of maintaining the government, in place. Like all things are working. The police are doing their job. uh, the institutions are doing their job. So there's no there's no instability from that part whatsoever.
And I know this is difficult to predict, Coro, but she has said that she made a statement in the last 24 hours about cooperating with the U.S. government. How do you interpret that statement?
Okay, since the blockade, we haven't been able to export our oil, uh, which in the normal way we've done, for decades. So you just want to be a nice neighbor. Like if they want to buy oil, I mean, they have corporations here. They haven't left the country. They're still working here. So I mean, we're not enemies of the United States, right?
Right.
So you have to negotiate. It's all part of a negotiation.
Mhm.
And whatever people talk about betrayal, that's all speculation.
Right. And so, Coro, Donald Trump says that Marco Rubio is going to run Venezuela. How do you how do you how do you respond to that, Coro?
I don't want to be rude, all right? Marco Rubio, I mean, he's one of those, who calls attacks on his own. I mean, I don't know if he was born in Cuba or his family left Cuba. Many people left Venezuela. That doesn't justify that you want your own nation, the nation of your grandparents, to be attacked. Marco Rubio's not going to rule nothing here. He has nothing to do here.
Right.
And these people demonstrate that.
Those people are supporting the government. Is that right?
Yes, government supporters,
Right.
Hugo Chavez supporters, Nicolás Maduro supporters.
Right. So, Coro, thank you very much for speaking with us today. Please stay safe, okay? And we'll stay in touch. And hopefully, please let us know what's going on so we can have more conversations with you in the days ahead.
We'll be in touch.
Okay. Peace
Take
out.
care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.